Good morning, y'all. We're going for a breakfast at Paye. We're at a place right across from Tehsil Park. And this place has been here almost 200 years. It's on its 5th generation. They're doing a beef paye. It's just a hearty breakfast that warm you up on this cold morning. And this area is very local. It's almost tranquil. It's very peaceful. You hear the birds chirping. You got nature. Just take a deep breath and get your day started. So paye can be done with mutton, but he does his with beef, and you can see using that hoof of that cow, all that gelatinous skin layer, he just can't even really pull it out of there. They've got the huge pot. It looks like it's almost got clay wrapped around it. The fire is built under there. But for this dish, how they do it, I thought it was 12 to 14 hours, but they are cooking theirs 18 hours.
Beef Jenny.
So the clay pot they got here, they actually have to change that out every 3 or 4 months because they've constantly got that fire in it. They use it, it wears down. So this big contraption right here, they're changing out constantly. You know, look how oily and rich and red this is. And then my clothing of choice. Terrible idea. I should have been like Chris.
Got all the black, dark blue. That's how we do it.
Pinch some of that bone marrow and meat on there. I can't even pick it up. This is you get your hands in there and get dirty. Wow. Wow, that is a low, slow Sunday roast done Pakistani style. That bone marrow, almost like this meat butter that coats it all. Then you get this vibrant red from, I'm guessing what is a Kashmir chili. So oily, so hearty, so heavy on the stomach to warm you up, give you energy for the day. But the thing that surprised me is it is a garlic bomb. You can tell they're still putting a lot of love even 5 generations later, taking 18 hours to cook this, using the perfect cuts of beef. I like, it's like a roast that's been cooked low and slow, got that stringiness to it, but then you do get that bone marrow in there. And you got that actual cow hoof as well, where you get that leg, that gelatinous melt in your mouth factor. And just like the components that they've all used to come together.
Whew. That is definitely cooked for 18 hours. That just falls apart. So red. Wow. Just a sec.
Big bite.
It has that really strong garlic flavor, but it's like, tell me if I'm wrong, but it feels like a roasted garlic. Is that right? Yes! I said something right for once.
I'll tell you what though, after you take a few bites though, you just let it sit in your mouth. Because they've cooked it so long and infused those spices into that oil, that heat and that spices ain't gonna leave anytime soon. Get some of that bone marrow. I feel like you kind of walk away with this dish. I feel still like I got spices in my mouth, the garlic breath, the oil, and fat from the beef on my hands. That is a stick to your ribs. You're gonna remember it all day dish. So this is where it all starts. You cannot have Pakistani cuisine without the masala, the dried spices, the combination of them. Every area, every dish is going to have different combinations. Every family even will have a different masala mixture. But this is where you can come and get the basis for your recipes and your dishes. I really don't know how he sits up there all day and stands in there. I mean, yes, it is just an amazing smell because you know the dishes these spices can create, but wow, it just really fills you up, and I almost feel like I got to sneeze and cough just being this close to this many spices.
I'm America, USA. So I was asking him how he learned to make the spices, the mixtures, and he said that when they were younger, they would just watch his father do it. So it runs in the family. They would just sit there and watch him, and they just kind of learn like that.
Since 1965, and keeping that hospitality going, got my own little masala mixture here. Got something very simple just to make some karai and things like that with. And of course, they gave us some more chai to drink here. Got the doodh putty. And I forgot to tell you, you see the little cups right here? We have these cups and that little spout of tea that you poured in, that is the Peshawar way. It's such a hard-working area right here. They got the metro above us. You get down in here, and it's all scrap metal work. You see the bikes, you see the rickshaws, so you know there's gonna be some hearty, delicious, cheap food. Rehman Gul Chawal house.
Rehman Gul Chawal house.
That's right, that's where we're at. We're here for rice, because Chawal house is like a rice house, and we're going for the pulao, the Peshawari Pulao. And you can see here, he's gonna open that pot. Right at top, they got the rice mixed in with the chickpeas in a type of raisin from this area, the Kishmish. But when he digs down to the bottom, that's where he finds that beef, that mixture, and all that rice has been cooking in that beef stock. And so he's an expert going through, dividing it up, getting meat pieces out, checking, make sure they're perfectly done, layering the rice, and then putting that topping of chickpeas and raisins on top to make it oh so appealing. So what's actually really special about here is they're being very selective about what beef they use, bringing it in their kitchen and actually butchering it and cutting it down themselves. They're actually gonna weigh it out. You see they got the little weight and scales going next to each little server. Gonna give you a certain amount of rice and a certain amount of meat on each plate. Nobody's getting less and nobody's getting more. And it's crowded. I mean, Chris and I are kind of shoulder to shoulder. You kind of sit close to each other.
It's crowded. Damn, I look pretty good.
And look at the quality of that beef and the way they've cooked it. That is just butter. The way that cuts with a spoon. It's almost kind of just melting into your rice plate. I want everything in that first bite. That rice is so fragrant, the way it's been cooked in that beef stock. Get all those kishmish, raisins, chickpeas, and a nice gelatinous piece of beef. You're just not going to find Peshawar Pulao any better than that. The way the granules of rice are so fragrant, a little bit nutty. Then you get the umami from the chickpeas. You get that beef. It's like the tendon and cartilage. It melts in your mouth. And then for me, the kicker, the key ingredient are those little raisins, that little sweetness, that tartness really pairs with that fattiness, the heaviness so perfectly.
The most interesting thing about this dish, for me, is you get somewhat like of an earthy flavor from the rice. Almost like they use a lot of like star anise and stuff like that. But then you also get these really sweet grapes. And they're quite juicy too when you bite into them.
Chris hit it perfectly. You get those spices like the star anise, the clove, the nutmeg, the cinnamon that mix with that fatty beef, that mix with that nutty rice, and that tartness. I think it's the tartness that really makes it so unique.
The grapes are really interesting.
I think I could eat this every single day and never get tired of it. Feels like a little bit of ghee. It coats your mouth, as oily and fatty as it is. Those raisins are so key. It turns the dish upside down, transforms it, and that's what takes it to that next level, makes it so unique, that touch of acidity, tartness, and sweetness. I'll tell you what, you get used to that fatty ghee meat melt in your mouth, the nutty rice, the fragrant floralness, and then they got the whole black peppercorns in there. You hit one of them, I'll tell you what, take it for a sharp turn real quick.